It is a unique figure in the sense that the quality is excellent. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven today with a bootleg figure unboxing again. And just like a few weeks ago, where I unboxed a bootleg Asuna Ichinose figure from Blue Archive that cost around $25, we have the same thing going on again where the figure was shipped this way inside the plastic blister and the box was flattened out this way to save on shipping space and downsize the carton box. And this is a figure which I really wish that there is a genuine licensed PVC figure version, because at least based on official product pictures by a bootleg company, she looked really good, though we shall find out today how good the figure actually is. And this one is also going for only roughly $25 US. That is Taobao price, of course, and that is before shipping or any taxes. But before that, this is what the box looks like. They kept the box so simple. There is not even a print of the figure, just a silhouette over here and not much else. Once again, we have a warning label behind this box over here, written in Japanese and not for those under 18, even though this is definitely a safe for work figure. I'm calling this a bootleg. It may be an unlicensed third-party PVC figure, but I am more inclined to suspect that it is a bootleg of an existing GK. Of course, I may be wrong about that, but for the sake of SEO reasons on YouTube, I'm calling it a bootleg in my video title. Yeah. So one thing to note was that when this figure was sitting inside the brown carton box, this packet over here, this small packet over here, it was sitting at the bottom of the brown carton box that the figure was shipped in. And if I wasn't being careful enough, I might have accidentally thrown it away together with all of the trash inside the box, you know. The protective materials like bubble wrap, I might have accidentally thrown everything together with this sachet. So I wish that the seller wouldn't be so careless in packing anime figures. If they really had to, they should tape this in a more secure manner. And even this shoe over here, it fell out and it was somewhere at the bottom of the box as well. It is easy to miss it. I know that this is a low-cost figure and people do not want to pay too much for shipping, but this is way too insecure when it comes to packaging. In my opinion, the paintwork looks really nice. It is actually glossy and there is a little bit of color gradient, a little bit of shading on her shoe. You see some dark and medium browns over here. So this is a very positive early impression. However, this halo right here, oh, what is this, man? Yes, this halo is distorted. It is not round. But to be fair to the figure company, when I saw the official product pictures, even in their own pictures, this thing is not round either. Just that it does not look very nice and it is kind of flexible. It is like rubber in a way, but I'm too afraid to bend it just in case it breaks, right? And we have more accessories over here. A bunch of these objects over here. Yep, you normally see this in the game Blue Archive. The plastic does feel a tad bit rough, like not very smooth to the touch, but hey, this is $25, right? I think this is more like dust. If I wipe them clean, it would feel a little bit better. So these are like, yeah, game or smartphone icons. Interesting. And next up, the figure itself. Alright, first up, let's check out the base over here. Oh! This is pretty dusty. Like, this is similar to a mirror base, a reflective base, I suppose. And it is already pre-scratched, as you can see over here. Not too surprising. Like, when you buy bootleg stuff, yeah, the bases, they're often imperfect. They come with scratches. I think it would be ideal if you purchase your own tiny mirror as a base at this point. Yeah. So, next up, we have the figure. Oh, so yep, to be expected, I suppose, because I wish that the hair strands are sitting flat on the desk, right? Yeah, it should sit flat, but it is floating up a bit. A lot of genuine figures with long hair all the way down touching the floor have a similar problem, to be fair, over here. So this is still acceptable for bootleg. And then the finishing touches, the halo on her head. I'm a bit too afraid of breaking anything. I don't think it is fitting very well. Okay, it went in a little. I was thinking of using a pin or a needle to make the hole bigger, but it went in a bit. What did I drop? Okay. And finally, this piece over here is supposed to go into her hand. I'm actually unsure how to plug it in. There is a pack over here, as you can see, but I could not see any holes on the front of the figure. Let me double check the pictures over here on the internet, because there are no instruction sheets included with the figure. Alright, I actually spent over 5 minutes trying to figure out how to insert this object over here into her right hand and make sure that it stays secure, and by now I still haven't figured it out if I did it correctly. And this piece of plastic she is holding in her right hand over there, this piece of plastic is a lot more transparent, but in the final product over here, it is more like translucent rather than transparent. It is a little bit opaque. Yeah, I suppose that we couldn't expect a bootleg figure brand or a low-cost PVC figure brand to be 100% loyal to what they promised in their earlier prototype pictures. Compared to the Asuna Ichinose figure that I covered just a couple of weeks ago, roughly, this thing is seriously impressive. It looks a lot better than that Asuna figure that if you told me this is maybe a low budget, genuine licensed scale figure from a Chinese brand, I might have believed you, because the paintwork on this figure is seriously next level, right? There is a lot of heavy shading you can see on her blue color skirt over here on the back, and there is a bit of it on the stocking, not as obvious as genuine figures, but there is a bit of it over there. And as I mentioned earlier, her shoe looks amazing as well. There is some shine, some gloss to it. The deficiencies that I could find on this figure of Plana is mostly down to the sculpt on the hair, which is lacking in refinement. This is also comparable to price figures, I suppose, but everywhere else, mold lines are a lot less obvious. Like, I couldn't see any on the side of her leg, right? Normally you will see mold lines on the leg, on the side, and even on the outfit. Yes, not very obvious over here. This is pretty impressive, I have to say. And of course, this being a low-cost figure, the surface of the paintwork is not exactly that smooth or nice to the touch. You can always do your own clear coating though. With this figure, the best part about it is the pose. It is a very unique pose. It is like a very clumsy girl who fell over and her face landed on the floor first. I don't really see many figures on the genuine side with this kind of pose. That is what that make this figure feels so unique that I just had to get one, right? This is miles better than the Asuna figure that I covered a couple of weeks ago. And speaking of the face of this Plana figure, it looks fairly accurate to what was being promised by the brand in their official pictures, and I don't think I have any complaints about it. It is like this figure is about 70-80% there, and just a little bit more refinement plus clear coating, and this could be a legit scale figure that cost way more. And when I see such a missed opportunity over here, it makes me feel a little bit sad in the sense that this figure should have been adopted by a genuine figure brand and made into something legit. That is what I feel over here. And before I forget, let's check out the dimensions of this figure. So including the base, the height. The height of this figure is roughly 17 centimeters, I think, in this pose. That may not sound like much, but this is indeed 1/6 scale. If you take a look at the size of her head and everything, plus this is a lolly character, this is actually true 1/6 scale, which is impressive. So the biggest two problems I see over here, three problems. Number one is these plastic pieces over here should be more well refined. It is rough to the touch. It is not as transparent as what was being promised. Number two was actually this halo over here. This halo should be way nicer. It is the cheapest filling part in the entire figure over here. And the third problem would be the base coming with scratches and not exactly nice to look at, but you can always give a figure like this your very own base, right? So these are the three major problems that I can find for this figure. Paintwork is pretty competent, I have to say. Not perfect, but pretty competent for 25 bucks. If there is a problem with a figure like this, even though the pose is pretty unique, the problem would be it is pretty difficult to enjoy looking at this figure's face because it is, at the bottom of the figure and she is kind of facing downwards. This is a figure where you may want to display higher up on the upper levels of your shelf so that you get a better look at her face. And I would conclude to this figure review, a mini review, to be missed opportunity. This one has the potential to be even greater than she already is. I really want to see a genuine figure brand, does not matter Chinese or Japanese, pick up this one and make it into a legit scale figure, right? I think this thing licensed going for around 20,000 yen would be a very reasonable price. And if you found this review today, this mini bootleg review to be informative, entertaining, then please to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content pretty much every week on this channel. I'm purchasing these things not because I endorse bootlegs, but rather it is out of curiosity because we don't have anything like this in the genuine figure market, as you guys already know. I wanted to make content. I think that is the main purpose of buying stuff like this. I just want to make content for YouTube. So until then, thanks a lot for watching and I will see you soon. Goodbye.